My phone buzzed at 3 a.m., yanking me out of a dead sleep. Jessica's name flashed across the screen. Not a good sign. She never called this late, not unless something was wrong. I answered, my voice still thick with sleep. Hello, babe, I need you to come get me. Her voice was strained, breathless, like she'd been running. Instantly awake, I sat up. What, where are you? She hesitated. The police station. A cold, sharp spike of adrenaline shot through my chest. What the hell happened? She did not answer right away. In the background, I heard muffled voices, a door slamming. Then quietly, just please come. I did not waste time asking more questions. I grabbed my keys, threw on a jacket, and was out the door in less than a minute. The entire drive, my mind spun in 100 directions. Drunk and disorderly, a bar fight, some stupid misunderstanding. Jessica was not exactly the most stable person when she drank, but ending up at a police station was a whole new level. When I pulled into the parking lot, the sick yellow glow of the streetlights made everything feel surreal. I rushed inside, my heartbeat pounding in my ears, and then I saw her. Jessica was sitting on a metal bench against the far wall. Her dress crumpled, makeup smudged. Her best friend, Ashley, sat next to her, head in her hands. Jessica was not crying. She was not even looking up, just staring at the floor. Lips pressed tight together. But my eyes were not on her. They were on the man sitting beside her. I stopped cold, because I knew him. Not just knew him, he was practically family. Tyler, my best man. The second he saw me, his face twisted into something between guilt and frustration. Jessica finally looked up, and for a split second, I caught something in her expression. Panic, regret? And then, just as quickly it was gone, replaced by exhaustion. What the hell is going on? I demanded, my voice sharp enough to cut through the tension hanging in the room. Jessica exhaled, rubbing her temples. It's not what it looks like. I barked out a bitter laugh. Really? Because it looks like my fiancé and my best friend got arrested together. Ashley shifted uncomfortably, clearly wanting to be anywhere but here. Tyler ran a hand through his hair, avoiding my eyes. Jessica stood up and grabbed my arm, pulling me aside. Her grip was tight, too tight. Like she was trying to control the conversation before I could make up my own mind. Look, she whispered. We were at the club having fun, and some guys started harassing us. Tyler stepped in. Things got heated, and security called the cops. I narrowed my eyes. Why are you whispering? She let go of my arm immediately, feigning innocence. I'm not. Bullshit. I snapped, stepping back. My gut twisted with something ugly. Something I did not want to name yet. Jessica glanced over at Tyler just for a second. But I caught it. That quick, guilty flick of her eyes. My stomach churned. I turned to Tyler. Is that what happened? He hesitated. That hesitation told me everything I needed to know. Jessica jumped in before he could speak. Can we just leave? Please? I do not want to spend another second in this place. I wanted answers. I wanted the truth, raw and unfiltered. But more than anything, I wanted to get out of that suffocating room before I lost my mind. So I clenched my jaw, shoved down the rage bubbling inside me and said, fine, let us go. But I knew, deep in my gut, that this night was just the beginning of something much, much worse. The ride home was suffocating. Jessica sat in the passenger seat, arms crossed, eyes locked on the window as if she could escape through it. Tyler was in the back, silent, stiff. Ashley had taken an Uber, probably to avoid the impending explosion. Smart move. I gripped the wheel so hard my knuckles ached. Every muscle in my body was coiled tight, waiting, begging for an explanation that did not sound like complete garbage. But Jessica was not talking. I stole a glance at her. The way she was acting, so quiet, so defensive, was not like her. Normally, she'd be ranting about how unfair the cops were, how she'd done nothing wrong. How of course I should believe her. But now, she was too still, too careful. That was when I realized she was not trying to convince me of anything. She was trying to calculate what I already knew. I swallowed back the bitterness rising in my throat. Tell me again what happened, I said, keeping my voice calm. Jessica sighed, as if I was the one being difficult. I already told you, some guys were bothering us. Tyler stepped in. It got messy. In what way? She rolled her eyes. Do you really need every detail? Yeah. I said I do. Silence. Then Tyler, who had been dead quiet this entire time, finally spoke. His voice was low, tense. Drop it, man. I looked at him through the rear-view mirror. Drop it. Jessica shifted in her seat. Can we just know I cut her off? I just picked up my fiancée from a police station with my best man. If you expect me to let that slide without knowing what the hell happened, then you're insane. Tyler exhaled, rubbing his face. He looked like he wanted to be anywhere else. It's nothing. Just a dumb fight with who? Another pause. Then too casually, Jessica muttered, some guys we did not know. I caught it immediately. We, not me and Ashley, not Ashley, and I just my hands tensed on the wheel. So you and Tyler were together when the fight broke out. She hesitated just for a second. But that second was everything. Then she forced to laugh. Jesus, are you interrogating me? No, I said, I'm just trying to understand why the two of you got arrested together while Ashley was not even in the picture. Jessica scoffed, shaking her head. You're ridiculous. Tyler stayed quiet. Too quiet. I kept driving, my pulse hammering. Everything in me was screaming that something was wrong. But I was not going to push this fight into full-blown chaos while I was behind the wheel. When we finally pulled into the driveway, Jessica jumped out of the car so fast you'd think the seat was burning her. She stormed toward the house without a word. Tyler hesitated before getting out. I stared at him through the mirror. Tell me the truth. His jaw clenched. His hand was already on the door handle. Nothing happened. But he did not look me in the eye when he said it. Then he was gone. Jessica was already inside, slamming doors like a teenager throwing a tantrum. I sat in the car for a long moment, gripping the steering wheel, forcing myself to breathe. Because deep down I already knew. And whatever truth was waiting for me inside that house, it was about to rip my entire world apart. That I walked into the house, closing the door behind me with more force than necessary. The sound echoed through the hallway. But Jessica did not flinch. She was already in the kitchen, pretending to scroll through her phone, acting like nothing had just happened. Like she was not just in jail with my best friend. I took a slow breath, trying to keep my voice level. Jessica, no response. I took a step closer. Jessica, she finally looked up, feigning annoyance. What? I crossed my arms. You gonna tell me the truth now? She scoffed. Oh my God, again? She threw her phone onto the counter, glaring at me. Do you seriously not trust me? I stared at her, searching for even a sliver of guilt. A hint of shame. But there was nothing. Just irritation, like I was the problem. Are you really trying to flip this on me? I asked. She rolled her eyes so hard I thought they might get stuck. I already told you what happened. You're the one making it a big deal. You and Tyler got arrested together, Jessica. Not Ashley. Just you and him. So that word. That one careless, indifferent word sent something dark and burning straight through me. I took a step closer. Where was Ashley? Jessica tensed. Not much. Not enough for a normal person to notice. But I did. She was in the bathroom. She said too quickly. I tilted my head. For the entire fight, Jessica exhaled sharply, shaking her head. God, you are so paranoid. It's exhausting. No apology. No explanation. Just deflection. I clenched my fists at my sides. You were with him all night. Were not you? Jessica laughed. Actually laughed. Jesus, you sound insane. Yeah, I was with him and Ashley, we were all together. But you and Tyler got arrested. Oh my God! She snapped, slamming her hands on the counter. How many times do I have to say it? Some guys started bothering us. Tyler got involved. Things escalated. And the cops showed up. End of story. No, I said, not the end of the story. She narrowed her eyes. What the hell does that mean? I reached into my pocket, pulled out my phone and tapped the screen. The room went silent as an audio recording started playing. Ashley's voice. I do not know, man. I left them alone for like 20 minutes. And when I came back, they were arguing. She was drunk. He was pulling her away from some guy. And the next thing I know, security is there. Jessica's face paled. I pressed pause, let the silence stretch. Then I said, Ashley called me while I was driving, told me everything. She opened her mouth, then closed it. I took a step forward. She was not with you. She was not in the fight. You were and Tyler was pulling you away from some guy. Why? Jessica blinked. I leaned in. Who was he? She swallowed just once. And I watched the cracks start to form. Then in the quietest voice, she said, just some guy I knew. Everything inside me went cold. I stepped back, staring at her. You knew him. Jessica crossed her arms, looking away. I mean, yeah, I met him before. Where? She did not answer. Jessica, I pressed her jaw tightened at the gym. I sucked in a slow breath. My head was spinning, but I was not done. So let me get this straight. You went out for a girl's night, ran into a guy you knew from the gym, got into some kind of argument with him. Tyler had to pull you away. And somehow that ended in you and him getting arrested. Jessica looked down. It was not like that. I took another step back, nodding slowly. The pieces were clicking into place now. You were with him. I murmured. Jessica's head snapped up. What? I exhaled a bitter laugh. You were with him before the fight broke out. That's why Tyler had to pull you away. She shook her head too fast. No, I was not. Do not lie to me. Jessica's lips parted. But no sound came out. And that silence, that was all the confirmation I needed. Jessica's silence, her mouth opened, closed, opened again. Like she was searching for the right words, the perfect excuse that would make all of this disappear. But there was nothing she could say that would fix this. I took another step back, my body thrumming with adrenaline, my hands itching to grab something, anything to stop myself from putting a hole through the wall. You were with him. I repeated, voice low and steady. She hesitated just for a second. And then, like a switch flipping, her entire demeanor changed. The guilt in her face melted away, replaced by pure defiance. You're being dramatic, she said, folding her arms. I stared at her. Dramatic? Jessica rolled her eyes. Yes, dramatic. I ran into a guy I knew, we talked. Some idiot started a fight. And now you're acting like I committed a crime. I let out a slow, bitter laugh. You think that's why I'm mad? You think this is about some random bar fight? She huffed. Well, yeah, obviously. I shook my head. You're such a bad liar. Her eyes flashed. Excuse me? You were with him, Jessica. I leaned in, watching her flinch. You were with him. And Tyler had to drag you away. That's not what happened. Then what did happen? She licked her lips, stalling. I told you already? No, you fed me bullshit. I pulled out my phone again. And Ashley gave me something way more interesting. I tapped play on the second half of the recording. Ashley's voice filled the air once more. Look, I did not want to get in the middle of this, but Jessica was all over that guy before the fight. I saw it. I thought she was just messing around. But then she got really drunk. And it got weird. Tyler freaked out. And honestly, I think he was trying to stop her from doing something stupid. Jessica lunged for my phone. Are you kidding me? You recorded my best friend. I yanked it out of her reach. That's what you're mad about. I barked out a laugh. Not the fact that you were all over some guy while your fiancé was at home. Her jaw clenched. I was drunk. Oh, so now that's the excuse. I threw my hands up. Wow, Jessica, you got wasted so it does not count. That's your defense. I did not cheat on you. She snapped. Would you have if Tyler did not stop you? Jessica froze. And that was the moment everything changed. I saw it in her face. The flicker of uncertainty. The way she hesitated before answering. That hesitation was everything. My chest tightened. My stomach twisting into knots. Say it, I whispered. Jessica crossed her arms. Say what? That you would not have done anything. My voice was eerily calm now. Say that if Tyler had not been there, if security had not stopped the fight, if you had not gotten arrested, you would not have left with him. Jessica swallowed hard. And then she said the worst possible thing she could have. I do not know. My ears started ringing. Jessica must have realized her mistake. Because she immediately backtracked. I mean, I was not thinking, okay? I was drunk. And stop. I cut her off. She blinked. I stepped back. Suddenly needing space, needing air. I see and not listen to this. Oh, come on. She scoffed. Now you being dramatic again. I stared at her, barely recognizing the woman in front of me. The audacity, the lack of remorse. The fact that even now she was trying to turn this around on me. You do not even care. Do you? My voice was hoarse. You do not give a single shit that you just admitted you were about to cheat on me. Jessica's lips pressed together. Then after a long pause she muttered, I did not actually do anything. I laughed. A harsh, bitter sound. Yeah, you think that makes it better? Jessica huffed like she was exhausted from this conversation. Like I was the one making a mess of things. You reacting like I slept with him in the middle of the club. I shook my head. You really do not get it. She did not, or worse. She did and just did not care. Jessica sighed and rubbed her temples. Look, I'm tired. Can we just drop this? My blood ran cold. Drop this. Drop this. I had just found out my fiancé was grinding all over some guy she knew was seconds away from making the biggest mistake of our relationship, had to be physically pulled away by my own best friend. And her response was, let us drop this. I did not say anything for a long moment. Just looked at her, looked at the woman I was supposed to marry in a few days. And all I could think was, who the hell am I about to marry? I stared at her, feeling something inside me crack open. Something raw, something ugly. Jessica sighed like she was bored of the conversation. Like I was the problem here. You overreacting. She muttered, rubbing her temples. Overreacting. My fiancée had just admitted she was about to do something she could not even deny. And I was overreacting. A sharp, bitter laugh escaped my throat. Wow. Okay, Jessica's gaze snapped up. What does that mean? I shook my head, running a hand down my face. It means I do not even know what I'm supposed to say to you right now. She scoffed, folding her arms. So what, you just gonna sulk all night? I sucked in a slow breath, really trying not to lose it. Jessica, do you even realize what you just admitted to? She groaned, rolling her eyes. I did not admit to anything. You literally said I do not know. When I asked if you would have cheated on me, she hesitated for a fraction of a second. Just long enough for me to see the wheels turning in her head, searching for a way out of this. Then she squared her shoulders, her voice sharpening. I was drunk. People do stupid things when they re-drunk. I let out another dry laugh. Oh, so I should just excuse it? Because you had too many shots. Jessica's expression darkened. It's not like you perfect. I bet you done dumb shit when you were drinking. I blinked. Are you serious? She threw up her hands. I do not know why you making this into such a huge deal. I did not sleep with him. I did not go home with him. I was drunk. I was dancing. And yeah, maybe I got carried away. Carried away. I repeated, my voice like ice. Jessica, you were arrested. Tyler had to pull you off some guy. She groaned again, rubbing her temples. Jesus, let it go. My vision blurred with rage. I took a step closer, lowering my voice. Let it go. Yes. She snapped. I'm tired. I do not want to fight about this anymore. And I sure as hell do not need you acting like you're some perfect saint who's never messed up. I stared at her, barely recognizing the woman standing in front of me. Then, before I could stop myself, I said, Are you even sorry? Jessica blinked. Would I gestured between us for any of this? For almost cheating, for making me pick you up from a police station, for lying straight to my face. She frowned like she was actually thinking about it, like she needed to calculate whether an apology was necessary. And then after a long pause she shrugged, I do not know what you want me to say. That was it. That was the moment something inside me snapped clean in half. I exhaled slowly, nodding. All right. Jessica narrowed her eyes. All right, what? I turned on my heel and walked straight to the bedroom. I heard her footsteps behind me. What are you doing? I did not answer. I yanked open the closet door, grabbed the first suitcase I saw, and started packing. Jessica let out a disbelieving laugh. Oh, come on. You're not serious. I did not respond. I just kept moving, grabbing my clothes, my shoes, my laptop. Jessica's voice turned sharp. What the hell are you doing? I turned to her, finally looking her in the eye. I'm leaving. Jessica's face twisted into something ugly. You're actually going to throw everything away over this? You threw everything away, I said, shoving more clothes into the suitcase. I'm just cleaning up the mess. Jessica stomped forward, grabbing my wrist. You're being insane. I yanked my arm away. No, I was insane for ignoring the red flags all this time. Her eyes flashed. You're really going to run away like a little bitch? I laughed. You know what's funny? If I had been out grinding on some girl, getting arrested and lying about it, you'd have burned this house to the ground. Jessica's jaw clenched. I zipped up the suitcase and grabbed it off the bed. She stepped in front of me, blocking the door. You're not leaving. I stared at her. Move. She crossed her arms, smirking. No, I took a deep breath, then pulled out my phone. Fine. I'll call Tyler. Jessica's smirk faltered. Why? I raised an eyebrow. Because if he was so eager to save you from one stupid decision, let us see if he wants to deal with all of them. Her face paled. I stared at her, letting the silence settle between us. Then I said, Move. And this time she did. I walked past Jessica without looking back. Suitcase in hand. My heart hammering so hard I could feel it in my throat. I did not hesitate. I did not pause. I just walked straight to the front door. But before I could reach it, Jessica's voice sliced through the silence. Oh my God! Are you really going to be this pathetic? I stopped, took a slow breath, turned around. Jessica stood there, arms folded. Her expression twisted with frustration and something else. Something dark and bitter. You reacting like a child. You going to run away because I talked to some guy. I stared at her, my grip tightening on the suitcase handle. Is that really how you see this? She threw up her hands. I did not cheat. Okay. Yeah, maybe I got too drunk. Maybe I was a little flirty, but I did not cheat. And now you reacting like I burned our whole relationship to the ground. I let out a breathless laugh. Jessica, you literally admitted you do not know if you would have left with him. She rolled her eyes. Jesus, I was drunk. I was not thinking straight. I say dumb things when I'm cornered. And you were interrogating me. I shook my head. No, no, do not do that. Do not act like this is about one bad night. This is not just drunken mistakes. This is who you are. Jessica flinched. For the first time all night, she looked shaken. I stepped closer, keeping my voice steady. Tell me the truth. If Tyler was not there, if Ashley was not there, if that fight never happened, would you have gone home with him? Jessica swallowed. I could see it, the war in her head, the way she wanted to keep lying, to keep deflecting. But she knew I would not believe her. So instead of answering, she did what she did best. She went on the attack. Yuri so dramatic. She snapped. Yuri acting like Yuri some perfect boyfriend who's never made a mistake. Yuri telling me you've never looked at another girl? Never flirted? Never. I've never disrespected you like this. I cut in, my voice like steel. Jessica's mouth snapped shut. For the first time, she had nothing to say. The silence stretched, thick and suffocating. Then finally she scoffed. Fine, go run away. See if I care. I stared at her for a long moment. Then I nodded and I turned back toward the door. I had my hand on the handle when she spoke again. This time quieter. Where are you even gonna go? I hesitated, just for a second. Then without looking at her, I said, anywhere but here. And I walked out. The cold air hit me the second I stepped outside. But I barely felt it. My mind was buzzing, heart pounding like I had just stepped off a battlefield. I stood there for a second, suitcase at my feet, staring at the empty street. The darkened houses, the quiet stillness of the night. Then the door behind me swung open. Unbelievable. Jessica hissed. Yuri actually doing this? I did not turn around. Could not. If I looked at her, I might lose whatever control I had left. She stormed past me, standing on the porch with her arms crossed. Where the hell are you even going? Huh! You do not have anywhere to go. She was wrong. I had plenty of places to go. But I was not about to explain myself to her. I yanked my phone out of my pocket and scrolled through my contacts. My thumb hovered over Tyler's name. For a split second, I considered it. He had tried to stop her. He had tried to help. But the fact that I even had to question his role in this made me sick. So instead, I scrolled down and called someone else. It rang twice before he picked up. Bro. A groggy voice answered. What the hell? It's like 4 a.m. I swallowed hard. Eric, can I crash at your place? Pause. Then instantly more awake. What happened? I glanced at Jessica. She was watching me like a hawk. Eyes narrowed. Lips pressed into a thin line. I'll explain later. I said. Eric exhaled. Yeah, man. Doors open. I hung up. Jessica scoffed. Eric. Seriously. Yuri running to that loser? I turned to her, finally looking her in the eye. Funny. He's never ended up in a police station because he could not keep his hands to himself. Her face twisted in anger. Yuri being a child. No, Jessica. I said, for the first time in this whole relationship, I'm actually thinking straight. She stared at me. Jaw clenched so tight, I thought she might break a tooth, but she did not say anything. Maybe because she knew there was nothing left to say. I grabbed my suitcase and walked toward my car. I was almost at the door when she muttered, "You'll be back." I stopped, turned. She was smirking, "You'll cool off," she said, crossing her arms. Realize Yuri being ridiculous. Then you'll come crawling back. A slow, bitter smile crept onto my lips. No, I said I would not. I got in the car, started the engine and pulled out of the driveway. And I did not look back. The street lights blurred past me as I drove. My hands gripping the wheel tighter than necessary. My mind was spinning. My chest still tight with anger, betrayal, disbelief. It felt like I was trapped in some alternate reality where everything I thought I knew had been a lie. Jessica, the woman I was supposed to marry, the woman I had trusted, she had not even tried to stop me. Not really. She did not cry, did not beg, did not chase after me because she thought I'd come back. She thought I was weak. And maybe before tonight, she would have been right. But now I felt something I had not felt in years. Clarity. I pulled into Eric's driveway 20 minutes later. His porch light was already on. And he was standing in the doorway, barefoot, arms crossed, looking like he was half asleep, but trying to act awake. I killed the engine and stepped out of the car, dragging my suitcase behind me. Eric took one look at my face and let out a low whistle. Damn, she really screwed up. I huffed a laugh, but there was no humor in it. You have no idea. He stepped aside, letting me in. Dude, I do not think I've ever seen you like this. I walked into a small but familiar living room, dropping my suitcase by the couch. The place smelled like old pizza and laundry detergent. But at least it did not smell like her. I ran a hand through my hair. I do not even know where to start. Eric plopped onto the couch, gesturing for me to sit. Start with why the hell you here instead of at home with your lovely fiancé. I let out a sharp breath because she's not lovely. She's lying, cheating, manipulative. He raised an eyebrow. Cheating. I hesitated. Had she actually cheated? Technically, no. But at the same time, she was about to, I said, voice tight. Eric frowned. Man, you better start from the beginning. So I did. I told him everything. The phone call, the police station, Tyler, the fight, the guy she was with, the way she looked at me when I asked if she would have gone home with him. Eric listened without interrupting, his face growing darker with every word. By the time I finished, he let out a slow exhale. Damn, that's messed up. Yeah. She actually said I do not know? I nodded, jaw tight. Eric shook his head. Dude, if a girl loves you, that's not even a question. She does not hesitate. She does not think about it. She says no. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling. I know silence stretched between us for a moment. Then Eric said something that made my stomach turn. What about Tyler? My fists clenched. What about him? I mean, he was there. He saw everything. He pulled her off that guy. I exhaled sharply. Yeah. And he did not tell me, not until I forced it out of him. Eric let out a low whistle. So you think he was covering for her? That question made something ugly twist in my gut. I wanted to believe Tyler had just been trying to keep things from getting worse, that he had my back, that he had stepped in because he knew she was about to make the biggest mistake of her life. But the more I thought about it, the more something felt off. I pulled out my phone. Eric frowned. What are you doing? I scrolled through my messages until I found Tyler's name. The last text he had sent me was weeks ago. Before all of this, I looked at the timestamp to 48 am, almost 15 minutes before Jessica had called me. And the text, bro, we need to talk. My stomach dropped. Eric leaned over my shoulder, reading it. Oh, hell no. I stared at the message, my pulse hammering. Jessica had called me at 3 a.m. But Tyler had tried to reach me first. Why? What the hell had he wanted to say before she got to me first? I stared at that message, my mind racing. Bro, we need to talk. Sent at 2:48 a.m., 12 minutes before Jessica had called me from the police station. Eric shifted beside me. Dude, call him. I clenched my jaw, my thumb hovering over Tyler's name. Every instinct in me screamed, do not. But I had to know. I tapped the call button. It rang once, twice. Then he picked up a long pause. Then, a groggy, wary voice. Hello? I took a slow breath, forcing my voice to stay calm. Tyler's silence. Then more awake now. Hey, man. Eric leaned forward, watching me closely. I ignored him, keeping my focus locked on the phone. Why did you text me last night? I asked. Another pause. Then, quieter. You got my text? I gritted my teeth. Yeah. And now I'm asking why. Tyler exhaled sharply. Look, man. I do not think we should do this over the phone. Do what? My voice sharpened. Tyler hesitated again. That hesitation made my stomach churn. Eric mouthed. Speaker. I tapped the button and Tyler's voice filled the room. I tried to stop her, he said. I swear to you I tried. But she was drunk. And she was not listening. And that guy, I cut him off. You texted me before she even called. That means you knew before the cops got involved. So tell me, Tyler, what exactly were you trying to warn me about? The line was so quiet, I could hear my own heartbeat. Then, finally, Tyler said the one thing I never saw coming. It was not the first time. The room spun. I gripped the armrest of Eric's couch. My breath caught in my throat. What? Tyler exhaled. His voice heavy. Jessica, that guy. I've seen them together before. Eric muttered a sharp curse under his breath. I could not speak. Could not breathe. Tyler kept going. I did not know for sure. I wanted to believe she was not. He cut himself off. Like even he could not say it. But last night, when I saw them together, the way she was acting, I knew. And I could not let it happen again. Again, the word hit me like a sledgehammer to the chest. I swallowed, my throat burning. How long? I do not know. How long? Tyler hesitated. A couple months. Maybe more. Eric stood up so fast, the couch shook. Are you kidding me? My hands were numb. My mind blank. Jessica had already done this. Not just once. Not just almost. She had already cheated. Clenched my jaw. You knew. Tyler sucked in a sharp breath. I did not know, man. Not for sure. I had suspicions, but I stood up, my pulse thundering. And you did not tell me? I did not have proof, Tyler said quickly. I did not want to come to you with just a feeling. I thought maybe I was wrong. And I did not want to. I ended the call. I could not listen to another word. Eric stared at me, his fists clenched. That dude is dead to me. I barely heard him. I was already reaching for my keys. Eric's eyes widened. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where the hell are you going? I did not answer. I was already out the door, because there was only one person I needed to see right now. And she had no idea what was coming. I drove like a man possessed. The street lights blurred past me. My mind locked in a storm of rage, betrayal, and something even worse, clarity. It had never been just one night. It had never been just a drunken mistake. Jessica had been lying to me for months. And now I was about to find out just how deep this betrayal went. By the time I pulled into the driveway, my hands were shaking, not with fear, not with hesitation, with restraint. Because if I walked into that house and saw even a flicker of that same smugness she had when I left, I was not sure what I'd do. I slammed the car door shut and marched up to the house. The lights were still on. Good. She was awake. I did not bother knocking. I threw the front door open so hard it bounced against the wall. Jessica, who had been sitting on the couch scrolling through her phone, like she did not have a care in the world, flinched. She looked up already annoyed. What the hell, Mark? I slammed the door behind me. She frowned. What is your problem now? My problem? I let out a sharp, bitter laugh. Oh, you do not want me to answer that. She rolled her eyes, tossing her phone onto the coffee table. Jesus, are we really still doing this? I took a step forward. My voice eerily calm. Yeah, Jessica, we really still doing this. Because there's something you forgot to tell me. Her face barely flickered. Oh my God, what now? I exhaled through my nose. Tyler called me. Jessica went completely still. A slow, suffocating silence filled the room. Then she forced out a scoff. So I tilted my head. So you do not even know what he said yet? Jessica licked her lips. I do not need to. Tyler's a liar. I smiled. She was panicking. Funny, I said, tilting my head because all he did was confirm what I already knew. Jessica's jaw clenched. I took another step forward. How long? She blinked. What? I let the words drip from my tongue like poison. How long have you been cheating on me? Jessica's her breathing quickened. Her eyes darted to the side, searching for an escape. I leaned in. Was it before the engagement? Jessica's lips parted. But she did not speak. My stomach twisted. Before the engagement, Jessica, she swallowed. No, I let out a slow breath. But after silence I nodded. So the entire time we were planning our wedding, you were screwing some guy behind my back? Jessica's eyes flashed. I was not screwing. I laughed. Loud, sharp, cold. Oh, do not even try that bullshit with me. She crossed her arms. You do not know anything. I took one last step. Tell me his name. Jessica's nostrils flared. No, I smirked. Then I'll find out myself. I turned, pulling out my phone. Jessica lunged. She grabbed my arm, nails digging into my skin. Mark, stop. Just stop. I yanked my arm free. Give me one good reason why I should not find him and ruin his entire life. Jessica's voice cracked. Because I made a mistake. I laughed in her face. A mistake. A mistake is forgetting to buy milk. A mistake is one night. But you made a choice. Over and over again. You looked me in the eye every single day and chose to lie. Jessica's eyes were shiny now. I did not mean to. You did, though. I cut in. You meant every second of it. And you know what the worst part is? I do not even think you're sorry. You're just pissed that you got caught. She opened her mouth. But I held up a hand. I'm done. I said, voice steady. I'm so done. I do not care about excuses. I do not care about explanations. And I sure as hell do not care about what happens to you after this. Jessica flinched like I had hit her. I stepped back, turning toward the door. Her voice was small now. Desperate. Mark, please. I looked over my shoulder, locking eyes with her one last time. Goodbye, Jessica. And I walked out of that house for the last time.